Yo, String, we hit the one girl, but after that, man, I ain't see nobody catch no lead, man.
Except for Tank?
Yeah, Tank gone. The other bro dropped him, so I guess we even now.
So you get one, right?
Yeah.
That's good. That's like a 40-degree day. Ain't nobody got nothing to say about a 40-degree day. 50, bring a smile to your face. 60, shit, niggas is damn near barbecuing on that motherfucker. Go down to 20, niggas get they bitch on. Get they blood complaining. But 40, nobody give a fuck about 40. Nobody remember 40, and y'all niggas is giving me way too many 40-degree days. What the fuck?
Now, I think that people are starting to realize that the more that you rewatch The Wire, the more and more inadequate that Stringer Bell will become to you. Now, given he does seem to be smart at times, I mean, he is good for a witty analogy like that 40-degree day one. That was original. And also, he makes it his business to not appear as a normal street guy, but as a legitimate businessman who only operates in the streets amongst these peasants. But don't be fooled, because this only gives off the appearance of being smart, not the actual ability. Cause question, why is it that every time String is left alone with someone like Prop Joe or Clay Davis, they see right through him? What is the first weakness that String tends to show?
Ain't exactly talking out of turn when I say that West Side dope been weak for a while now. Every dope fiend in the city know that Avon been putting out piss, calling this shit. And the thing is, y'all sitting on some of the best real estate in the city. The terrace, the low rises, the avenue corners.
Now, respecting the fact that you known to having a way with your words, man, when the fuck you gonna tell me something I don't know?
Alright, let me put a point on it.
See, instead of cutting Joe off and rushing him to make his point, String should have been patient. He should have examined how Joe set up his propositions, which is almost as important as the proposition itself. Not only did you miss out on important intel, but you gave off the impression that you might be a little desperate. And furthermore, that you're kind of simple-minded in your decision making. See, if you offer String something that benefits him, he won't be able to find any good reason to turn it down. This has nothing to do with business. This is more of a personality trait.
Shit, I'll take any motherfucking money if he giving it away now.
I'll take any motherfucker's money if he giving it away.
Now, in my last video, I explained what principles are. And I want to quickly explain why they're important. Because when we walk out of our doors every day, if you're not clinging to your principles, then the world will pull you in whichever way it wants to, with whomever is offering you the most. It is our principles that enable us to turn down propositions that at face value seems to benefit us.
Thing is, y'all got the best territory and no kind of product. I got the best product, but could stand a little more territory so you see where this thing need to go.
Well, now, you know Avon fought real hard for them towers. I mean, we took down the Rayford brothers, Big Dennis Woodson,
Should've just been the String. Buy for $1, sell for $2. That all it need be. You got the towers, I got what goes in them. Later for all that bullshit.
Now, in linguistics, the word proposition is defined as the underlying meaning of a sentence, which is why you must always read between the lines with someone named Proposition Joe. He's never really direct in what he wants, and he have a tendency to speak in riddles. This is because a true player of the game never really reveals what he wants.
A man with no motive is a man no one suspects. Always keep your foes confused. If they don't know who you are or what you want, they can't know what you plan to do next.
The thing is, Joe never really cared about the projects, nor did he believe that it could work long term. What Joe saw was the perfect opportunity to cause discord between Avon's camp. He knew that giving up those towers goes directly against what Avon believes in, that Avon would say no. But still, he knew that he can convince Stringer to do it secretly behind Avon's back. Now listen, y'all, because this is some dark game that get used in the streets. When you want someone to betray someone that's close to them, you have to start off with small things, like keeping a secret behind their back, like tucking a little bit of extra money on the side. Now, this may seem irrelevant, but psychologically what this does is prepare them to do something big that goes against their belief system, like snitching on Avon to Bunny Colvin to protect what you and Joe got going on. Now, how did Stringer get here? In this position, having to make this hard decision. It all started from right here.
Of course, this is neither the time nor the place, but I thought I might get at you for a moment. Got a proposition here.
Now, men like Prop Joe and Clay Davis are well aware of their reputation. They know that people view them as sneaky, greedy con artists, always trying to get over for a buck. But this actually does them a great disservice, because their true ambitions go far beyond trying to get your money. But they're smart enough to let you believe that this is their intentions.
Of course, he said y'all will be paying my fee rather than his own self.
Your fee?
I'm doing like one of the marriage counselors. Charge by the hour to tell some fool he need to bring some flowers home. And charge another hour telling the bitch she ought to suck some cock every little once in a while. You know, keep a marriage strong like that.
25 gets me the permits.
20 gets you the permits. 5 is for me for bribing these downtown motherfuckers.
There are no bribes.
I mean, I'm the one got to risk walking up to these thieving bitches with cash in hand, right? I'm telling you, Strang, the people running the city nowadays, they make the last bunch look sanctified. I mean, this is some shameful shit.
Now, Joe and Clay run the same game on Stringer. Different situation, but the same tactic. They distract you with the short con while setting you up for the long one. Every time Stringer Bell becomes suspicious about all the money that he's spending, notice that Clay does not contradict his reputation by pretending to be honest. No, he instead embraces that persona of a greedy politician, only down for a buck. Now, this doesn't make Stringer happy, but it does make him comfortable. He lowers his guard because he thinks he knows what Clay wants, but the truth is he doesn't know the half.
Jesus Christ.
He's slick. Apologizes for the short con, and in the next breath setting us up for the law. He and Morello are thick as thieves.
And do we know what the long con is?
At least we know he's running one. She.
Exactly. See, Norman is one of the sneaky, smart characters on the show. The point is not that you know what the long con is. The point is that you understand that he's running one. Because once you believe that the short con is the main act, you've already been rocked to sleep like a baby. And Stringer only has the capacity to think 2 steps ahead. 2. Which is why he's only good at solving immediate problems. But the long-term ramifications seem to go over his head every time. For example, the product versus territory experiment. Now, it was of Stringer's belief that because he had the best product, he could now go around and buy people's territory. Meaning, just like he gave up 3 of the towers to Joe in exchange for the product, he would now exchange said product for half of other people's territory. Now, from Strang's perspective, this not only made sense, but it was actually the best option for everyone, and subsequently will make the fighting for territory in the West Side obsolete. But what Stringer doesn't take into account is the human nature side of things. 1, once the dope fiends on the West Side continue to use this good dope, the perception of it will slowly but surely change to okay. This is because even too much of something good loses its value. But more importantly, once all the hustlers on the West Side get this good dope, the product is no longer a hot commodity. Everyone has it. So, the competition goes right back to who has the most territory to sell said product. No matter which way you cut it, the end result is inevitable. The game is the game, and it has no intentions of changing for the better. what Bunny Colvin tried with Amsterdam could never morally work for his officers, not long term. Just as Stringer Bell's experiment could not morally work for his soldiers.
Man, all this theorizing about how it be product, not territory. You can't talk that shit if a nigga snatching all of the territory and won't take none of your product.
Now, this wasn't always Stringer Bell's stance, because in season 1, his theory was, we do worse, we get paid more.
The thing is, no matter what we call heroin, it's gonna get sold. Shit is strong, we're gonna sell it. Shit is weak, we're gonna sell twice as much. You know why? Because a fiend, we're gonna chase that shit no matter what. It's crazy, you know? We do worse, and we get paid more.
Now, whether Stringer Bell knew it or not, he was actually making a case for territory over product. He's basically saying our product can be weak because we own the most territory. The fiends have no choice but to cop. But by season 3, he was saying,
Said, yo, get it straight. Your territory ain't gonna mean shit if your product is weak. Go ahead and ask them motherfuckers trying to sell them 410 poles when you got niggas riding around in Japanese and German cars in America all day. Your territory ain't shit.
Now, from season 1 to season 3, String struggled with the dichotomy between territory and product, mainly because he took business principles and tried to implement them into the drug trade, which doesn't translate as well as he thought. Now, remember after String died, McNulty picked up a book inside of his apartment.
Who the fuck was I chasing?
Now, the book is called The Wealth of a Nation by Adam Smith. And they highlighted this book to give us some insight on Stringer's ideology and why he does some of the things he does. Now, the central thesis of the book is that our individual needs to fulfill self-interest will result in the benefit of our society. A nice fancy way of saying capitalism. And what Stringer was applying to the drug trade is what you call economic theory. Now, economic theory is based on the assumption that investors and consumers are rational and efficient machines. So, in other words, that we will make the best decisions for ourselves and maximize our profits.
How you gonna tell it to Avon?
It makes sense, don't it? He gonna hear something when it makes sense.
But sometimes rational behavior does not involve receiving the most monetary or material benefit, because the satisfaction received could be purely emotional or non-monetary. Meaning, sometimes we will value honor, respect, and other intangibles just as much as we value money. But I'm done talking about Stringer for today, y'all. In the upcoming video, I want to start talking about Amsterdam and how it may be fictional, but the actual idea is far from fake. There's politicians who support this, academics who support it for the sake of their research, and real-life economists like Thomas Sowell who support the legalization of drugs. Now, I love the wisdom of Dr. Thomas Sowell, but I disagree with him on this topic, and I'll tell you why soon. And another thing, the shop, y'all. If you need some wire content in between mine, go subscribe to the shop. We have to support this wire community and keep the show alive. But it's your boy Swartz, y'all. Thanks for coming through again. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that. It's time for me to get out of here, y'all.